Alright, Schlockmeister fans. Oh, I've had this movie in my collection a long, long time. Caged Terror. Let's watch.
Frustrations which accumulate.
I know a place in the country that I was thinking of going to this weekend, as a matter of fact. Yeah, I was going by myself. Would you like to go? It's very nice.
This is Richard inviting Janet to go on a camping trip.
I've been told that
Anyway, Janet said yes, so this is them walking. Now, in most films, they show a little bit. This shows the entire walk.
But that's too dirty in the city. Fall's the best there.
Is your job really such a drag? I would think that meeting people all the time would be interesting.
None of the interesting people can afford to buy the stuff.
They stop to go fishing. And we sit and watch him bait the line. And sit, and sit, and fish, and fish. Whole movie is shot in damn near real time. I fast forwarded a couple of minutes. They're still fishing. Finally, they stop.
Richard, why did you kill those fish?
Hmm?
They were so beautiful.
Wait till you taste them.
At one point, he shoots a rabbit, too. A noisy rabbit. Janet's a little weirded out.
You're always killing. Are you going to kill me like you did the rabbit and the fish?
I'm sorry, ma'am.
Anyway, sensitive Janet eventually gets over it. Phil pulls her top off. And they go skinny dipping together. Which leads to a little nookie on land. For whatever reason, Richard runs off and gets some of the rabbit blood and drips it all over her naked body. Anyway, after walking some more, they finally make it to this remote cabin somewhere.
Oh, wow, does it smell good in here, eh?
What?
I wish you wouldn't say what when you don't hear what I say.
I wish you wouldn't mumble so. Be more positive.
I saw it and
An
it's not
apple
there
disappeared.
anymore.
Well, maybe a squirrel took it away. I saw one running across the roof with something in its mouth.
Maybe we could leave right after we eat. I really don't want to stay here. I think there's someone in the house.
Outside the cabin nearby, they find a chicken coop. Or some kind of coop.
Richard, look.
Anyway, the director spends a lot of time filming them drinking and eating.
Oh, you're such a ham. Thanks.
Now let's see what our fish look like. Oh. Would you believe it?
It's pomegranate time.
Sometimes I think that your life is made up of as many little compartments as this pomegranate.
Do you find it as beautiful?
And Janet gets upset about it.
In spite of the blood? In spite of the pomegranate?
here you are. We've eaten the trout. It's part of us now. We can tame the pomegranate. And soon it too will be part of you and me. Beauty does sweep on, cruelly. It's the action, the flow that gives us grace.
Well, that was some profound words of wisdom from Richard. I wonder what he's going to come up with next.
Gotta go take a crap.
Well, as he's finding a place to crap, Jarvis and Troubadour show up.
Good evening, lady.
Who are you?
We live in this house.
You live in this house, but you can't. There isn't. Then, do you own it?
Lady, we don't own it if you want it.
And guess what they do?
What do you do for a living?
We are wandering minstrels.
Dear lady, we just travel where our destinies take us, bringing news and love.
Anyway, they leave, but that night they are close by and they're making a lot of noise. Richard doesn't like that. So he shoots their moped. Well, of course, the guys don't like that, so they come on in the house and they kidnap Janet. And stuff her in a fridge or something.
Keep cool, baby. I'll be back. And if I don't get back, nobody ever will. Well, that's a big no-no in my book. What did you do with the girl? I put her on ice. You mean you killed her? Oh, goddammit.
Anyway, the guys move in on Richard then, and they take him out to the chicken coop and tie him up. Tie him up for a very long time, which we get to see all of. I have fast forwarded 3.5 minutes later, and they just finished tying him up. And then they bring Janet out to the chicken coop. She's like unconscious or something.
Hey, man. The ladies want to have a sleeper. Hey, Truby. Want to see Sleeping Beauty wake up? No! No! No, shut up.
Richard pleads like a little girl for quite a while.
I don't care. I don't. What have you done to her? Please. Please. Please don't. Please.
Truby sings. Richard watches. Jarvis kisses Janet. The next morning, Janet says goodbye to Jarvis and the Troubadour. I don't know what that's all about. But they're on good terms, apparently. And our movie ends with her coming back to see Richard in the chicken coop. Hell of a film. If you're wondering about extras on this DVD, well, we have some. In fact, we have a trivia game. Let's play. Who said that overcrowding causes abhorrent behavior? Well, I think that was Dr. Paxton Greenshields. Yay! What was found at the cabin entrance? Well, that were falcon wings. Hey, hey, 2 for 2. What object disappeared from the house? Well, it was an apple. Woohoo! What would a wolverine do to escape a trap? Well, he would chew his own leg, of course. Hot damn, 4 for 4. What does Janet compare life with? Is it a fish, a rabbit, a cage? No, it's a pomegranate. We saw that scene. Hey, hey! Well, look at that. I'm perfect. 5 for 5. I've seen this piece of shit film way too many times. All right, let's talk about Caged Terror. What the hell is this thing? Well, I used to frequent a video store in Two Rivers, Wisconsin called TNR Video back in the 80s. And this popped up on the shelves in the horror section, like a new movie one time, like in 1986 or so. So I'm like, I gotta have it. So I grabbed it, brought it home, copied it. And a lot of times back then when I was copying a lot of movies, I didn't watch a lot of them. I intended to watch them later. This one I actually watched. I remember watching this in disbelief, like, what the hell is this? It almost felt like a matter of pride that I had to finish the movie because it was so... I don't even know how to describe this movie. It's like... there's a lot of this movie that is filmed in real time. Like we see, there's a couple walking through the woods. The camera watches them walk for like 3 or 4 minutes. We see them fishing in the brook. We see them literally fishing for like 5 minutes. We see them eating dinner for 5 minutes. The camera just sits on them and they have a little bit of banter between them, but there's a lot of silence too. And they just talk about fish and pomegranates and whatever. Now, the plot of this movie, let's get this too. The plot here is we have this guy and this girl who go camping in the woods. The guy invited her. I don't know if they're colleagues or what, teachers, I don't know. But it's like the guy is supposed to be like teaching her how to be a survivalist, how to hunt and fish and survive. And he's supposed to be the guy with the words of wisdom and said he talks about pomegranates and taking a crap. But he's teaching her things because she gets upset because she's just a little woman, right? That's what's going on. And then they run into these guys named Troubadour and Jarvis who... they just sing and spread love or something like that. They apparently live in this cabin off and on. It's not their cabin. They're just some sort of hippies gone wild. That night, they're making a lot of noise, so Richard shoots their moped and tips it over. They don't like that. They come in the house. They kidnap Janet, stuff her in a fridge. They kidnap Richard, take him to the chicken coop, tie him up. Then they go get Janet, bring her out there. She's like unconscious. And then Jarvis starts like kissing her and molesting her and say, hey, she's got nothing on under this bathrobe. This is awesome. And then the guy is Richard's pleading like, no, please, 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 over and over again. And then we cut to the next morning, and then Janet is like saying goodbye to these guys as they're leaving. Did she get raped? I don't know, but she seems totally cool with whatever happened. And then she comes back to the chicken coop where Richard is like laying there like a sausage, and the movie ends. That's it. That's this movie. I don't know what the hell this thing is. If you look on IMDb for this, it's got a really low rating, 2.2. I get it. But to me, this movie is fantastic in a way that it's so bad that it's entertaining. It's not one of these, it's kind of like an Ed Wood movie maybe, I don't know, or it's not one of these movies that's so bad it's awful, but it's so bad that it's just fun. It's ridiculous. The dialogue is ridiculous. I mean, that whole pomegranate scene, then he says he has to take a crap, that made me laugh hysterically. I had to show you the whole damn minute and 20 seconds of it. It was great. I watch this movie every couple of years just to refresh my memory of how ridiculous this thing is, and it doesn't fail to impress me every time. It's unbelievable. Go on IMDb and read some of the reviews that other people have written about this movie, the people reviews, the user reviews. They're hilarious. They're hilarious, and I get it. I ended up working at that video store, TNR Video, through college. And at one point, my boss decided to start selling some of his movies, and he had this one in the pile for $5, and I had to buy it. I just had to buy it. There's something about this film that pulls me back in every couple of years just to view it again. I would venture to say that outside of the filmmakers themselves, I've probably seen this movie more than anybody. And I haven't seen it that many times. Maybe 5, 6, 7, I don't know. That's 5, 6, 7 times too many if you ask me. But nonetheless, it's like some sort of weird drug that sucks you back in every few years. You just got to see it again and again and again and again. I don't get it. I don't understand this film. It's like the director was trying to say something and I don't know what it was. It was lost. Now, the original title of this movie is Golden Apples of the Sun. I got to tell you, this film I had on my old YouTube channel, and a couple people have asked, are you going to do Caged Terror again? And of course I am at some point, and today's the day. A couple years ago, the son-in-law of Elizabeth Suzuki, the girl in this movie, emailed me and said, hey, I saw your review. I thought it was hilarious. I showed it to my mother-in-law. She thought it was funny. Here's her email address if you want to talk to her. Actually, I think he said that she was going to email me, but she never actually did. And I actually found her on Facebook today, too. She goes by a different first name other than Elizabeth. She has a nickname, is what she goes by on Facebook. But the guy told me her nickname, so I was able to look it up, and sure enough, that's her. She's obviously, 47 years older now, or 48 years older, or whatever. But wow, quite a film. Anyway, a little bit of nudity in this movie. Elizabeth Suzuki has some full frontal nudity in this movie. She's the only one who actually gets naked. I think maybe we see the guy's butt. I don't know, but wow, what a film. I don't even know what to say about it. But has anybody ever seen this film besides me? I'm curious. If you have, leave me some comments. If not, track this motherfucker down, because it's worth a view just because of what it is. I will leave a link on Amazon down below, assuming they have it on there. And if they do, please click the link. Please buy it. You got to see this movie. I hope it's cheap. It's got to be cheap anyway, but it's worth seeing because it's just so flippin' ridiculous. So anyway, check it out. Caged Terror. Leave some comments. Let me know. Let's talk about this thing. I need some more input. Caged Terror. Watch it. Bye.